Drop your pants and grab your ankles. It's time for Grillo's Aftershock XL with your host, Steve Grillo. How the hell did you get a TV show?
That's a question my mother asks me every other day. Oh, shut my phone off. You're a professional. Shut your phone off. Sorry about that, kids. It's been a very fun couple of days over the weekend. Might have seen what happened. My two best friends got married on the roof. It was a wonderful day. We had a party on the street. The cops and everybody got along. There was nothing but fun and love in a time of where you really need it. So Saturday was amazing. And Sunday, everybody got together, all my friends, and just were talking all day about how great Saturday was. And it felt like a little glimmer of hope, a little glimmer of what's to come. Things should be opening up. They started phases, whatever those phases are. People are gathering more on the street. People seem to be healthy. I'm just worried about a lot of misinformation that goes around, how quickly it could spread. I thank everybody for coming up to 7 o'clock every day when I go live. It means a lot to me. And we haven't done a live show in half a minute. It's been exhausting, but I thought Magic Noah, not Magic Mike, fuck that movie. Magic Noah is now the new Magic. Magic Noah found a really good guest on Twitter. If he says he's a good guest, I believe he's a good guest. I don't know anything about him, which is going to be great because I could start from the beginning and figure out how weird this story is going to get. And I think that's much better than being prepared, because in high school and grammar school, I was never prepared. And I always kind of hit a home run when my back was to the wall. Not all the time, but so my back's against the wall. And this guy is Mike, no go zone. And you have a documentary coming out, correct?
Actually, it's a web series. First of all, Grillo, thanks for having me on.
Okay, before we even get to that, before we even get to how you got to, if we get there, I'm thinking that's pretty. You have a set of like giant brass balls on you, maybe, or are you just not smart enough to understand how dangerous the situation you get into? Which one is it?
It's probably a little bit of both. I mean, it could be ignorance on my part, or just ignorance is bliss.
Naivete, like a little, like, kind of like you really didn't think it was going to get that bad because maybe you didn't believe it, or you knew it and you said, "Fuck it, I'm going in anyway."
Pretty much, it was that. Just fuck it. You know what? Just go balls deep.
Okay, we're going balls deep. That's what is that? From not Family Guy. The Cleveland Show. There's a song. Okay. But anyway, so little teaser about what you do, and I kind of know what you do, but I don't. And let's start out with where you grew up and what happened in your childhood.
Oh, I had a normal upbringing. I'm actually from Farmingdale.
My Aunt Doreen and my Aunt Karen went to Farmingdale University.
Okay.
I love taking the trips up to the campus and seeing the cows and everything. So I know Farmingdale a little bit when I was a kid.
And yes, it was a pretty much first generation American, and but I was a normal working class upbringing. Totally, you couldn't get more normal than where I grew up.
And you're how old?
I'm 48.
So we're around the same age. I'm 47. Yeah. I got it. Came up this same kind of cool era right. That we can get away with a lot of shit and not have to worry about the internet.
Right. And then was, I guess, nothing too crazy. Well, I did, being first generation American.
From where?
Well, my dad's from Italy. My mom's from Peru.
So first generation, they met in the United States and had you here, or did they meet somewhere else and then gave birth to you here?
They met in Peru. And I was actually conceived there. They came here when my mom was pregnant. Yeah, go
coming over there.
I just made it.
And okay, so they your mom got knocked up in Peru.
Yeah.
And then you moved here, and then you were probably the green card. No, we have a baby here. We're good.
I guess you could say I was an anchor baby in a way. Yeah.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, man.
Hey, listen, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
And but because of that, I even as a youngster, I had to go visit family in Peru. I had to go visit family in Italy. So this love of traveling was instilled in me from a very young age.
Like your skin is so fair. You sure that wasn't the mailman? Like you should be like olive skin. You should have
Right?
you should have grease dripping off your face right now.
Yes. What can I tell you? But that love of traveling is like a little bit that sense of adventure and exploring. Even
I
from
think as a kid, that's really important. Education you could put on your kids is traveling the world.
right, absolutely. And then as I got older, then you start making your own money, and even I think one of the first international trips I took with my friends was to Canada, and then I been to Italy several times.
Can I make it one really quick point?
Sure.
So you were educated as a kid to travel, which I think is a very important point to make when you're going to start telling us what's going to happen in the end of your story. So you are a well-educated kid that knows how to travel.
Pretty much.
I think that's an important point for later.
Right. And then even in college and St. John's, shout out to St. John's, by the way. And
you almost went to St. John's?
Yeah.
I was this close on a wrestling scholarship, and when I went into the parking lot and I saw all those Mustang 5.0s, I went, no. I want to get away from these people. So my best friend Beth Mundy went to St. John's at the same time.
But as I was saying, yeah, so every chance I had, I'd always try to travel somewhere, different countries, different places, whether it was here in the States or abroad. And, again, life goes on. You finish school, you get a job. And
what was that job?
I had a job. It was in IT. This is back in the 90s. So the technology back then was nothing like now. You're doing like data processing, record keeping electronically and all that. And then eventually I had a job transfer to Miami of all places. So you can imagine at the time, I'm like, well, I'm single, why not? Why not go to a new city? So I came to Miami. And in Miami, I actually got married and divorced, So, I had a very full life.
Yeah.
But, and then one of my favorite shows to watch, though, during that time was Bourdain.
Okay.
And I kind of consider him the godfather of unconventional travel.
Yeah, I have to go watch stuff I have to go watch his stuff, and I'm going to tell you why, because I tend to be odd about what I watch on TV sometimes, and I call them like the no show, I call them my refusal shows. Like right. I refuse to watch this, I refuse to watch that, and for some reason, amongst them was Friends. I've never watched an episode of Friends.
Really?
No. And amongst others was Anthony Bourdain, because he just came across to me as such an arrogant asshole. And I'm not saying he wasn't, because you know what? It's my fault for not doing any research and watching what he did. But and it's almost the same as what happened with me with Andy Kaufman. I really thought as a kid he was Latka. And then when he did Vic Ferrari, it freaked me out. And then I didn't realize that really wasn't him. And then he did the wrestling, and I didn't understand all of it until I watched Man on the Moon. And then I felt so stupid because he was such a genius. So my probably mistake was mistaking that Anthony Bourdain is definitely a genius, because people talk a lot of great things about him. What
he did was that there's a million travel shows all over TV, but he'd go to these unconventional places that no one else would go to. Like he'd go into the slums of Rio de Janeiro, where everyone's on the, you watch a show about Brazil, it's always about Copacabana Beach and all that, but he'd go into the slums. He'd go to where tourists wouldn't dare venture to. Yeah. And you got to respect that. And for that, for example, he'd go into the Bronx. A million shows about New York City, it's always about Manhattan, but he'd go into the Bronx. And, big props for that. And then when he passed away too young, unfortunately, I'm like, well, who's gonna, I'm not saying I'm trying to be him, but I saw there was a big gap, because there's a million now, for example, there's a million travel videos on YouTube right now about pretty much every place in the world. Yeah. But no one was doing a show going to these undiscovered neighborhoods, these no-go zones, track fault.
Just one quick stop. What's the name of my show?
Your show?
Yeah, what is it?
Aftershock.
Yeah. Well, I came up with the idea of that pretty much almost the same way you came up with the idea of what you're doing.
Okay.
And after Howard leaves, like, who's doing that? So it was after shock jock kind of idea about like taking the knowledge I know for 8 years and working on that show with him and filling that void of not being him, because at this point you can't be him. No one can ever be him.
Right.
Especially in this time and day. But continuing something that I learned from that show and moving on with it, because why not? You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing with Anthony Bourdain, so there's really a weird kind of connection that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. Hey, absolutely. Actually, I got the name from, I'm sure you've seen Fox News, Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, I keep my political, but I like listening to sense, and sometimes he makes sense. So, but that's
yeah, like anyone. I don't agree with everything he says, obviously, but
that's because
he throws that term around a lot, and I'm thinking that's pretty cool. It's not trademarked or anything, and it rolls right off the tongue. And if you watch the intro to my videos, I actually use a sound clip of Tucker Carlson in all my videos.
Hopefully we have clips, right?
I send them to
if you send clips to Noah, then there's clips. There's no doubt. Like the kid's like on point.
All right, cool.
Can't because you got a YouTube copyright.
YouTube copyright. Sorry. Yeah.
And so how do we break that? No, I know. I get it, but so we have websites where people can go and find it, so that's fine.
Sure. If you go to my website, Mike No-Go Zone.
No-Go Zone is what? Let's get to the nitty gritty. We built it up a little bit now. Let's. I'll put links on it. We're gonna link it up when we do it, and make sure people can understand. So, cut to everything. No-Go Zone. Why and what is it?
A no-go zone is a place that the media deems stay away from. Don't go here. It's dangerous. And sometimes it's used in a racist manner, or if a community is like really heavily full of immigrants, a lot of people, mainstream media will paint a place to be like, oh no, it's dangerous. It's stay out of it. It's full of crime. You're gonna get harassed. So that's what's deemed a no-go zone area by mainstream media. And
okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much the definition.
So you go and do what?
I explore. I'll spend the night there. Like, for example, in the South Bronx, when I did the New York episode, I'll get an Airbnb in the heart of the South Bronx.
Airbnb in the heart of the South Bronx.
Yeah. Hey, I'm here. I'm talking to you, right?
Yo, that's like coming to America shit.
Yeah. And I'll go there. I'll eat all my meals there. I'll go out for get breakfast.
And so you're that just what you're half white boy walking, but you look more of a full white boy.
I identify as that,
Yeah, but, I know, but you can pull that card and they'd be like, all right, I say you're good. But I can't. But
the irony, I speak Spanish fluently.
Well, that'll get you out of a lot of trouble.
And because my name is American, a lot of people, sometimes I'll play dumb and just try to hear what they're saying about me without me, cluing them in.
All right. So the hairiest situation you ever got in. I wish we could play clips. That sucks. Do you have like non-copyrighted clips? No. Like I want to see so you do get yourself into situations, or do you wait for situations to happen to you?
Well, I've only had one every episode I ever put out, I only had one situation that was, I guess you can call it dangerous. And it was totally my fault. It had nothing to do with the people of the neighborhood. I'm going to refer to if you ever have a chance, watch the episode in Baltimore.
Okay.
And as you can tell, Baltimore's got a rough reputation.
Yeah, no, Baltimore is that's where Robin Quivers is from. Definitely a rough neighborhood. I've driven through it. So, and then I grew up. I know I grew up in an Italian neighborhood, but there was the baby projects in Starrett City, and I hung out there a lot. I understand what it's like to walk through a neighborhood that people looking at you. Luckily, I had friends that were like, no, he's cool. And I never got bothered, but I seen people get bothered on both ends, and it was just horrible. So you've gone just to what? Just cities that are in turmoil in the United States? Have you done it in other cities, or have you done it all over?
Oh, yeah, well, I did an episode in Miami, and the episode I did here is an area called Opalaka. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's way off the tourist trail. I'm talking like, you think of Miami, what do you think of the beach, Brickell Avenue, Coral Gables? And I went to Opalaka because it was so out there, and very few, like the average tourist will not go there. And it has a reputation of being kind of a rough area. But I found it to be the opposite. I found that the people there were cool, pretty welcoming.
Okay. So your goal out of this whole thing is to go into these no-go zones and show people that it's okay. You can.
It's not as scary as the media makes it out to be.
Yeah, and that's a good thing because there's a lot of bullshit media that's going on right now. And I'm glad to be able to put you on my show and help get that out there. And but we have the Syria episode Noah has. So which I would love to just show people what you're doing and they can visualize it. So Noah.
Yeah. That's Damascus, Syria right there.
And this is at a wartime or just where someone
the city of Damascus was never conquered by ISIS, so the city's still like it's all in one piece. It's not all destroyed. Okay. But we venture outside the city of Damascus, and we see some of the areas that were hit hard by the bombing, and it kind of shook me when I saw that. But
you were able to, as an American citizen, in a time where it was like a little bit of an unrest, still make your way over to a country that is like probably going to mess you up or do something to you?
Well, you know what? The war in Syria is pretty much over now. It's only the rebels are pretty much concentrated in one country. As you can see, there's a church there. Syria is not. The media presents Syria as a horrible place where ISIS is cutting heads off of everybody, and it's not like that happens in certain areas, or it has happened in certain areas, but now it's.
So this is the fun part of the evolution of interviewing someone where you don't know exactly where it's going to go. And now I'm getting where you're going.
Right.
You're out here.
If you're in Europe or in the States, like, oh, it's a church. But you wouldn't picture that in Syria.
If I'm wrong, let me know. But your goal in this show, what you're doing and what you have been doing, is to let the public know that these no-go zones are not what they're being portrayed as.
Correct.
And this is a wonderful positive thing that people should be watching so they can understand what's actually happening out in the world before they tell you all this shit. Like, you were there, you came back, you're fine, and you got awesome footage. They're all.
Was it fine? I mean, I had a great time in Syria. The people there were really friendly, by the way.
And when was this?
Early January.
Wow, right before the whole Rona.
Yeah, right before the whole country shut down. As you can see, the architecture, it's fantastic.
I'm blown away. That's like ridiculous.
Yep.
Thank God they didn't blow that shit up.
I know, it's crazy.
Artwork that is. How do you make that? Especially, how do you make that like 300 years ago when they didn't have an electric drill? Like the amount of carrying brick by brick by brick by brick. Look at all those bricks. Brick. Like,
it is amazing. The people are really cool, really friendly.
But do some people go American infidel? Blah 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 blah. No,
not at all.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. That's such a positivity thing that people need to know right now. And I'm so glad you're on my show and I'm able to let everybody know what you're doing, because this is I thought it was gonna be like you cutting like a fence and running into somewhere that was That's what I had in my head all day. Like, you did some crazy ass shit, but now I see that you're not doing something crazy. You're doing something absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Little known fact about Syria: the government, call him a dictator.
Hold on a second. Get out, both of you. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Out. You can stay. You get out. I had to trap them in here because I have some friends outside. And
That's all right. You
they
know.
were good for a second, but all of a sudden I saw tufts of hair flying.
Yeah. Little known fact that
I'm really glad I'm really glad I did no research, because I think this whole interview is an interesting journey that actually brings you to what you're doing right now. If I would have known, I would have jumped to like this and that, blah, 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 blah. But sometimes, like when I did no research at all, I did the best.
Yeah. It's pretty
What's
cool. Get this. We visited a mosque, the big one in Damascus. And to show you how cool the staff was, they do the call to prayer and all that. And they actually asked me to film it. And I'm like, I'm not Muslim. Is that all right? And they're like, yeah, cool. Oh, now we're seeing the nightlife in Damascus. You can actually go out at night and party if you want to. There's bars, there's clubs.
Yeah, during the coronavirus.
Oh, everything's shut down now.
I'm just saying, when you were out there, it was right before it got shut down.
It was before it, yeah, it was way before.
Yeah, but like very dangerously close to it. Like January, February, word got out. March, shit went down.
It was already. I think I remember when I was in Syria, it was hitting China pretty hard already, and I think if I remember in Iran they were seeing some cases, but it didn't hit Syria yet.
Wow.
But crazy stuff, though.
Wow. And what have you done recently? Say, have you done anything during the riots? Are you sticking your neck out about that? That's a little tough, man. Because
you can see right now, there's the bombing.
There's other, like, Kumbaya, a protest is like, yeah, we love each other. This is wrong. Let's sing and make sure people know this is wrong. Not kill people and blow shit up. So
right. Well, I've been lucky in Miami. Most of the protests in Miami have been kind of peaceful, so we haven't had, if I was to go cover it, there really wouldn't be much to show. Just people,
I live in a war zone.
Yeah, I mean, New York got hit worse.
There's days that are good, bad. Like, night is pretty bad, but I worked down in the East Village last Tuesday when they went down there after the Monday night riots. It was storefronts blown away. People lost everything. Insurance does not cover violence and riots. So these people are basically sitting there with their head in their hands and realizing this is it. They just lost everything.
Sad.
I got a gold star at school today. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring anybody down. But I'm telling you the reality of it. And I see it. And I think about it all day. So it was kind of like a moment to explain it. And part of what I do to get out of it is make a stupid joke. So there you go.
Right.
But and your shit's gonna be where? Like, where is it gonna be?
Well, the next city I'm gonna plan on hitting up in July is Detroit.
No, but I'm talking about, you have a lot of stuff on camera. You have something coming out, right? You're here to promote that you have a web series coming out.
No. Well, this is the web series. No, it's called Mike No-Go Zones.
No, I understand that, but do you have anything that is going to be people could start watching you?
Oh yeah, it's on YouTube already. Every episode.
Oh, all right. You're still new. I'm trying to get you a plug there, buddy. Where can people start watching you and experience all the great things you were just telling me?
Where? It's on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Okay. Yes.
YouTube. I want
YouTube. Every episode is on YouTube.
Okay, cool. That's what I'm trying to talk about. You're here to promote your shit, and I'm helping you. So when I ask you where people can find it, you're like, "What? It's okay. You're new. I'll help you out."
No problem.
I hope you don't mind. I'm just kidding, bro.
It's so good.
But no, I'm trying to. People need to go find you, and they need to watch what you're doing. So that's what I wanted people to know.
Absolutely, and I appreciate it.
And you're continuing your good cause, and you're going into where next?
I'm looking to go to Detroit in July.
And do you go by yourself with just a cameraman and a sound?
No, it's just me. I am my own cameraman. I am my own everything.
I'm pretty much sure I know what your answer is gonna be, but do you go with any type of protection? No. Bulletproof vest or something?
No Kevlar.
Nunchucks.
Yeah.
Japanese throwing stars.
No.
Maybe like one of those things from Kill Bill. Shing.
Yeah, no swords, no weapons, no nothing.
Lightsaber. So
Yeah.
Detroit, I love Chicago. I love Detroit's rough.
Yes, it is.
And my prayers are. When I say my prayers are with you, it's not because I'm like, oh my God, you're going to be screwed. My prayers are with you, so when you do come back, you can show the world that it's not what it's going on.
No, absolutely, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, this guy's bugging out. I apologize, but there's a show behind the show.
Yeah, it's all right.
And
But,
your family's okay. All your friends are good. We talked about that.
Yes, I've been really lucky. No one close to me has gotten the virus, and I actually got myself tested a couple of weeks ago, and it came out negative. But I have no antibodies, no nothing. So
Yeah,
that's
there's an urgent care like a couple of blocks down, and I walked by, and I was like, "Do you take Aetna?" They're like, "Yeah." I went, "Well, how?" Like, she said, "What the copay is like $25. We can take you right now." And I went, "Okay." And I started to walk up and go, "Oh no, I can't." Like I was like, it's kind of like I had a moment of being scared.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't want to know. But I've been in the mix since it started. So Noah's putting up all these great things about what you've been doing, and I love your positive energy, and I want to help you spread to the world that this media is portraying people in the wrong way, and you're out there showing what's real.
Well, there's a reason for it. Bad news sells, and it travels fast.
Yeah.
We're all guilty of that, because if you put up two articles side by side, one good and one bad, the bad one's going to get far more clicks.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. No, it's going to get political. But there was somebody that I watched, and he's sort of become more popular, political, makes sense guy. But his viral video about him following the whole Russian thing, the dossier thing, which I don't understand, was an actual copy from an article in the New York Times,
right? And
they just changed a couple of words, and it was the exact thing. And just when something like that happens, you go like, who's telling the truth? And you have the balls to go out there and find out the truth, and then show people what's real. Mm-hmm. And I admire you, and I safety over you, my friend. Is anything? Where's your Twitter? Where's your Instagram? Where's everything?
Hey, if you go on Instagram, it's all one word, Mike No Go Zones. Same thing for the YouTube channel. If you go to Twitter, it's M No Go Zones. And by all means, yeah. If people, the only thing that's going to keep this series alive is people subscribe to it. So yeah.
Well, guess what? Me too. And I'm not talking about abusing. Me too, and I'm not talking about abusing women.
I hope not.
No, absolutely not. My mother would beat the crap out of me.
Yeah, right.
I grew up in a big Irish family on my mother's side. 10 kids, 8 women, all my aunts. I disrespect a woman, my ass would be beat. So it doesn't happen. But it was a funny joke.
Okay. Oh, but you asked me earlier about if I had a bad experience. The only time
I would like to hear that.
It happened in Baltimore. And by accident, it was my fault. I have no one to blame but myself. By accident, I filmed a drug deal going down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was not a good move on me.
Yeah, I'd have the problem with you too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm ruining their business. And it was my mistake, because my big mistake was thinking that if you sell drugs on a corner, you're a little bit of a slacker. You get up at noon and you go do your business, and then you go home, count your money. But this happened on a Monday morning at 8:30, and I was on my way to get breakfast, and I figured I'd film my journey from my Airbnb to the restaurant. So I'm documenting my trip, and I see a deal going down, and I should have just turned around or changed direction or walked away.
Yeah.
But I just kept walking like an idiot with my camera rolling, and the guys doing the transaction all turn around and they're like, who the hell are you? And I just wave and say, hi, good morning.
Hi, I'm the white boy.
Yeah, yeah. I started out like a sore thumb, and
having a good time. You ever watch The Partridge Family?
yeah, it was that was my attitude. And I hear screaming going on, and I dare not turn around because I know if I turned around, I was dead. But I see the restaurant. It's probably like around 200 yards in front of me. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm almost there. And this SUV pulls up, and I guess their boss came out. And it was right out of Central Casting, long leather trench coat, dressed like the guy's watch must have cost 20,000. Who knows how much it went for?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he tells me to turn the camera off, and he asked me, "Who are you?" And I told him, I go, "Sir, yeah." He actually takes out his phone, and he looks me up right there. And when he saw the YouTube channel, he's like, "Oh, okay, that's you." And I go, "Yeah, it's me." And he goes, "Well, all right." He goes, "I'm gonna give you a pass this time, but," he said, "if you ever roll through over camera again, you got to check with me first." And of course, I'm shaking like a leaf and practically on the verge of tears. And he was like, "All right, you go on your way."
You know, in the trunk, bro.
But what scared me the most was when I turned around and kept walking. I could hear him yell to his crew, "Hey, he's all right. He's cool. Let him pass." So I think they were just waiting for him to give the order to.
Yeah, no. I've been in situations like that. I understand. Let white boy go. I've been there. I talk about it. That's another story. But just told me what about the illegal activity he filmed recently? What
that was the Baltimore story, yeah.
Oh, that was the Baltimore story.
Yeah, that was the Baltimore story.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I thought there was something else. So
no, that was it.
Everybody's got their hustle on. You just happen to be in the wrong place filming the wrong.
Well, for me, not recognizing that if you're doing that, it's a 24/7 job.
You know why? Because obviously you've never been a drug dealer or have done drugs. So that's a good thing. That means you're a good boy. You're gonna tap you on the head, like tap, tap, tap. So that's something you probably need. You know what? I should be like remote with an earpiece and going, "Don't film them. She's getting a blowjob."
Yeah, I know, right?
You know what I'm saying? Don't film them. That's the chief of police. So you don't get in trouble. I'll be like remote in New York.
Yeah, no. Or you know what? Lesson learned, and I won't do that again. And next time I roll through the hood like that, I should have someone from the neighborhood with me someone to vouch for me.
Yeah. Maybe you need me as your producer or something, dude. If you're gonna roll down that street, I'm good, but I got people that are better. And you want to pass into some places, I just might be able to help.
Sure. Well, maybe we can collaborate in the future,
I would love that. And I would love to be a part of your positivity and what you're spreading and trying to keep people that are watching things, giving them a real perspective other than the bullshit that they're getting on any news media.
No, it's true. And it doesn't matter whether you watch Fox or MSNBC. They're going to tell you their version of what they
but it's not. Remember Roger Grimsby and all those people, like you'd watch the news at night and you were like, "Oh, he's awesome. He just told the truth." And now it's just like, Geraldo Rivera with the twisty mustache. Dick Dastardly. But they're all got their own agendas. And it used to be the agenda of what people needed to know. Now it's the agenda of politics and money and a bunch of other shit that I'm not smart enough to understand.
Right. Well, you said it right. Money. You do what sells. Roger Ailes, when he founded Fox News, he's like, this is what's going to sell. And you know what? He was right. It does sell.
Yeah, it does. I walk. Fox News is not too far from where I'm at right now. I walk past it all the time.
And not to pick on them. MSNBC is even worse. I mean, they totally sell you the opposite point of view.
Yeah.
And why do they do it? Because they know someone's gonna eat it up. And it's just nature of the beast. That's all.
What's next for Mikey Gozone? Are you gonna go towards like one of those really horrible, violent the riots? I'm not gonna call them protests.
Well,
or are you gonna where are you gonna stick your neck out next?
Well, like I said earlier, Detroit is definitely next on my list. The thing is, right now everything's still under lockdown in Detroit, and I actually contacted some businesses. They all told me, you know what? Come in early July. That way, more businesses are open and better contents.
This is why you need me. I got peeps in Chicago.
I already did Chicago.
No, I know Detroit,
Yeah.
like Detroit, Michigan, and Chicago. I know people out that way. So
St. Louis is another city that I like to go see.
I got family in St. Louis.
It's like that. And
Yo,
I like.
my pin pan is strong. No, I'm just. But if you ever go into someplace questionable, call me and ask me, and if I know anybody, I'll do whatever I can to help.
Sure, and any kind of assistance. Like I said, if I had someone from the neighborhood to vouch for me, that whole experience in Baltimore probably could have been avoided.
No, but it wouldn't have happened from the beginning.
I would have told you to turn the camera off. At least like, hey, turn that camera off. And,
you would have had that camera smacked out your face before you even knew it.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Don't.
I don't mean to be rude, but Pat. So,
Or at least you would advise me turn around. Don't walk down the street. You know.
You definitely need a little help, and I admire your courage and why you want to do this. And I think it's amazing, and it's needed right now, big time. So I'm glad you came on, and I was able to help maybe push this, and hopefully other people will push it and do more and more and more to get your word out there.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Who knows? Hopefully, you know, when does your studio open up? You know yet?
I just had some conversations with them, but you know, I'm getting a little more attention from doing it in my apartment, and God bless Pro Media. They've been so good to me. And if I have like a big guest, they said I can come in and film it. But being home and doing it on the street and stuff like that, I think that's the way I'm going to go unless I get like an Artie Lang again or someone like, oh my God, are you really doing one show? Do it in the studio and do it like that. But I'm working on like getting it. Noah's got me a steady cam. We're going to do some man on the street stuff. Maybe once a week have someone that's amazing like you come on. So.
Okay.
Yeah. We're trying everything that, you know, the different things. Why the hell not?
In fact, that's how I discovered your show when you had Artie Lang on.
Everybody did, but it was going for a year. But you know, I've had him on before, but it was just like after he like came out of everything.
Okay, yeah, because you know, I really when he was on the Stern Show, I really compelling stuff, you know.
Yeah, I wasn't, but I was just always a fan of him personally.
Yeah, well, I love Beer League, you know.
Oh, yeah, of course, Beer League. I love Beer League. No, but I'm sorry. And I just watched this twice in 1 week. Fucking, I'm in a brain fart. Whatchamacallit? Him and Norm Macdonald. The first movie.
Dirty Work.
Dirty Work. Dude, I can watch that movie over and over and over again. It's so much fun.
But again, thanks for having me on. But just to let you know, I've done. If you go on the YouTube series, I got the Bronx, I got Opelika in Miami. I did the South Side of Chicago already. Lower Ninth Ward of New Orleans. That was the neighborhood that got wiped out by the Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah, and you found a lot of good positivity.
Yeah, you know what? The neighborhood's coming back. It's little by little. It's going to be. Wow.
Yeah, I'm hoping you're doing the one right thing. Good or bad, you should put it up there because people need to know. Positivity is awesome, but make it real. Make sure that like people know that there is a lot of good, but there is still things that are struggling.
Sure.
You know?
And, I'm going to tell you, some of the best meals I've ever eaten were in some of these so-called no-go zones. When in Syria, I ate really well.
Yeah.
It was great there.
Yeah. Cool.
And, in Baltimore, the seafood there is amazing. You know, great. You know, crab cakes and all that. It's good food there.
Keep the positivity, but keep it as real as you possibly can, even if you have a bad experience. Mm-hmm. Just let everybody know what's going on, really.
That's what I'm here for.
That's awesome, dude. I'm so glad you're on my show. Thank you so much. Stay in touch.
Thanks for having me on. I'm flattered. You know, I'm totally flattered that you discovered my show and you know, try to promote it because you know, as I know, it's all about getting those hits and subscriptions.
Well, I think everybody's going to be interested in finding out more of what you do after this interview.
Cool.
All right, buddy. Hope you and your family are safe.
You too. Take care. Thanks again for having me on. I really, really appreciate it.
Anytime you got something new to come on and tell me about, you're always welcome.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. and have a good evening. And hopefully we'll run into each other soon one day. And,
After all this, we'll go out. We'll have a couple, whatever.
I'll get the first round. How's that? Top shelf liquor?
Now that you said it, you're paying for it.
I'll get it.
Top Shelf Liquor. This is one of our merchandise. We're having our Father's Day sale. Top Shelf Liquor. Little guy reaching for a bottle of Jack Daniels. We have a merchandise discount. I don't like to hawk too much, but like we got some really cool shit. Hoodies.
That sweatshirt was cool.
Yeah. I don't know why would anybody want a pillow with my face on it, but God bless. And yeah, face masks.
Cool.
So, I'm so thirsty. I'm not gonna. Well, obviously, I smoked before I started this, but my water ran out. I thank you so much for coming on. Anybody go to Grillo's Aftershock XL. Check out everything we got there. Subscribe, like, share. It's almost 7 o'clock. I go to the roof, do a little happy dance for all the frontline workers. It's been pretty popular, and I love going up there doing that. So always make sure that we're about to start filming again. TV shows and movies are going to be up. Bright shot. If you're crazy not to use Bright Shot seriously, it's the best light out there. Fuck the sky panel. Fuck all that shit. Sorry to curse. It's commercial, but 3.8 amps, any color temperature, and built-in special effects. The lovely Alyssa Marie and Prosecco and Palms. You want to check out her lifestyle blog and watch all the great videos she puts up. She's amazing. Sterling Assault. Oh, shit. Look at those rings. Aftershock ring. It's all good. You want a ring by Alfie? Go to sterlingassault.com. You can make anything you want. Or you could just pick from the catalog and mention Grillo's Aftershock XL. Get 10% off. And Richard at Fringy.com. Taxes are coming up. Go check him out. He's amazing. And I'm done. I walked way too much in the heat today. About 7.2 miles and only had one frozen margarita. And then this. So thank you everybody much.
Cheers.
Thank you everybody much. Let's write that down and keep it as a subtitle. Thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it. I'm going to bed. I'm done. See you.